Marshall Smith.
Well, good morning.
Hi, Madison. How are you?
How's it doing, Fan?
Hey, Bo. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I understand that you wanted to speak with me about Bowman's progress before her IEP.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, I recently did some testing on her to see her present levels of functioning. Would you like to go over that?
I would enjoy that.
Okay. Well, would you like to know more about the test that I did before we get started?
Yes, please explain.
Okay. Well, Bowman here was such a good sport about being tested. This is not a test like the OGTs and such and the OAAs where they have to sit down for hours. This is a very nice flexible test. It's called the Brigance, and it is a comprehensive inventory of basic skills. And it is research-based, which is what we like to hear in education. And it's also aligned to the Ohio academic standards. So, you know, those common core standards that you hear a lot about, it's aligned with those. So it helps determine the present level of functioning for Bowman and helps me figure out where I should be teaching her at and how to create progress. And then it also helps with the IEP goals and objectives that you guys are familiar with now by having several IEP meetings. So we will be having an IEP meeting coming up in a few weeks for Bowman. And I wanted to share with you the goals and objectives as well, since you will be signing off on them, and we can discuss if we like them or not at the end of this. So the Brigance has several tests, and so I just chose a few based on her IEP from last year, and one of her main goals was to work on her reading comprehension. And so we assessed our reading comprehension, didn't we, Bowman?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and so she was really excited to take the test, eager to see where she was at and see the progress she made, and she's made some. And so, do you remember what we tested on a few weeks ago? It's been a while.
No, I can't recall.
Okay, well, so we first tested, I wanted to mainly see her vocabulary comprehension, because vocabulary is a very important part of being able to understand what we're reading. And Bowman, if you want to just lay down, you totally can. All right. So anyway, we started with the listening vocabulary. So this is where I would say certain words to her, and she would repeat them. So she would be able to tell me in an oral response. I would list words and she would tell me which one does not belong. Okay, so this is where I was speaking and she was orally telling me which one did not belong. Okay, so she did that very well. We know she talks a lot. We know she has a very good vocabulary when speaking and doesn't seem to have any problems, is not shy or anything. So she met at the 5th grade level. That was the highest of the tests that I did today, or did a few weeks ago. And so then I wanted to really assess that, because that was her, you know, social communication language and wasn't where she was reading, because reading is where she has the most difficulties. The next test I did was the reading vocabulary comprehension test. So that's pretty much the same test, only she was reading the words. So there were 4 words given to her, and then she was supposed to tell me which one did not belong. All right? And so what happened there was she had to read them, comprehend them. She had to figure out how to pronounce them and determine if they were right in her head before she chose the word that did not fit. She struggled a little bit with that, but she was at the 3rd grade level. All right? So, and then, do you have any questions so far?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. And then last, what I wanted to do was to check her reading comprehension as a whole. So we did the reading comprehension short passage, and so she had to do a lot of reading for this, and she kind of tends to get frustrated, and once I explained to her that there's going to be several tests, she was able to complete the rest of the tests very well and seemed less anxious once I told her that about how many more tests there would be. She didn't like not knowing that there was going to be, if there's going to be 10 more tests or 2 more tests. So, so she read me a passage, and then we had a few questions that she needed to answer, and then we kept going until it was the stopping point where she wasn't able to comprehend as well as the previous test. That showed her in the upper 3rd grade level. This test helps us determine what her present level of functioning is. We can also use this system to progress monitor her and make sure that we are working towards her goals and not against them, or not just keeping her the same. We want improvement. And this test is also nice because it's not stressful for her. And if we needed to stop because she was frustrated because we were reading too much for her at that time, or if she had a poor night's sleep or something before, it would have been no big deal. So anyway, so I developed some new IEP goals and objectives for her because she will be renewing her IEP in a couple weeks, and I wanted to know what you thought. So the first goal, we're still working on comprehension because she's still not at the 9th grade level where she should be at. Bowman will orally demonstrate comprehension in context of 4th grade level listening vocabulary in 3 out of 5 trials, which will be assessed through reading stories, instructions, vocabulary words, poems, read aloud, and read out loud to her at 70% accuracy. Okay, and then that will be done by using the Brigance as well. That's one of the ways we can assess this out of many. And then how she will do this is by a year after the IEP. Bowman will listen as 3 lists of 4 words are introduced in reading text at the 4th grade level, and they're read out loud, which will tell which word does not belong. So this same test. The task will be performed with an accuracy of at least 2/3, which is 67%. And then I have a second goal for her. It still goes with comprehension. And Bowman will silently read and comprehend lower 4th grade level text and above in 3 out of 5 trials with 70% accuracy. And then how she will do this again can be monitored by the Brigance and several other methods for assessing her to see her progress. How she will do that is Bowman, when given a Fry reference story with a 4th grade level textbook criterion vocabulary of 67 words, I know that was a lot to say, Bowman will read the short story silently and then silently read 5 multiple choice questions and identify by circling or orally stating the best answer with comprehension of at least 4 out of 5 or 80% accuracy. So these are just stating that this is how we're going to assess these methods, and we aren't just going to work on this throughout the school year and that's all we're going to do is just Brigance type activities, but we need to be able to assess her, and that's how we're going to do that. Now, do you have any questions about her current progress?
What is the Brigance?
Well, as I said before, the Brigance is the assessment that I gave her. It is a comprehensive inventory of basic skills. So there are different types of Brigance, and this one was focused mostly on English subjects. So this is just a basic set of tests that was created by a man named Brigance to help identify the student's present level of functioning, so that we make sure that we're teaching them on their academic level, but also going to help progress them. Do you have any other questions? Do you want to know how her progress is since the last IEP?
Yes, I would be interested to know that.
Okay, well, Marshall, she has her last IEP wanted to get her to the 3rd grade level. That was what our hopes were for her, was to get Bowman to the 3rd grade level, and to where she could comprehend and work independently on the 3rd grade level. So as you see here, her reading vocabulary, which is where she did it by herself and read and picked the word that didn't belong, it was at a 3rd grade. Her reading comprehension short passage, which is what she's going to do a lot of in the higher level grades, is where she's going to have to independently read and decide for herself. That was at an upper 3rd grade level, so she's almost at a 4th grade level for that, and that's pretty good. And then her listening vocabulary is at 5th grade, but we really want to focus on the 2 comprehension pieces that are self. So, anyway, so she has made a lot of progress. I know you have to go soon. She has made a lot of progress, and I believe that we are on the right track for her. So, is there anything else?
Where do we go from here?
We'll meet in a few weeks for her IEP. I can let you take these statements home and review them, but I will also be sending you, I'll send it home with Bowman, the IEP, the sample IEP, and you can review it, and we can make adjustments if we need to. If not, we'll talk about it at the IEP meeting. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, it was nice. It was so nice seeing you, Marshall. It was nice meeting you.
Oh, it was nice to meet you too.
Very good. Madison, it's lovely to see you as always.
Bah.
And Bowman, I will see you in class.
See you later.